Welcome! In this video I'm going to go over how to use a tool in Google Drive called Google Forms. And it's a way that you can collect information from a group of people, whether it be a survey or a formative assessment or a quiz or just information that you happen to need from a large group. So what you want to do first to make a Google form is to get into your Google account. So you'll want to sign in like you normally would. And then from there you'll go right to your Google Drive. When you're in Google Drive, you want to click on this Create button in the upper left-hand corner. And when you click on that, you get all sorts of different options. The one option we're going to use today is the Form option. So down here toward the bottom, you'll click on Form. It opens up a new tab in your browser. So you can see up here at the top your Google Drive account is still there, but now we're in a new tab for the form. And the first thing it asks you to do on this form is to give it a title and to choose a theme. So for our purposes, I'm just going to call this Sample Form. You can call yours whatever you would like. And just like you might have choices of a theme like when you do a PowerPoint or some other similar more visual product, there are different themes for forms. So if you scroll down, you can see there's all these different backgrounds you could use. And just for fun, I'm going to use the fish background today. So I'm going to click on that. You can see there's a blue box around it right now, which means it's been highlighted. And up here it says Theme Fish. So I'm going to click on OK because I've got my title and I've got the theme that I want. Alright, now we're into the data of the form. You can see at the top here of my form, this is where the title is that I just submitted on that first window. So if I wanted to change my title here, I could do that, but I like it the way it is, so I'm going to keep it. The next box down is where you start writing your questions. So there are lots of different formats of questions you might want to ask. The first question I usually ask in any form that I make is usually for the name of the individual who's filling out the form. So that's what I'm going to do first. So I'm going to type in where it says question title, I'm going to type in name. This is what my question is. I want the person's name. There will always be a place where you also have an opportunity to write what they call help text. So this is a place where you can put information that's maybe related to your question, additional information. So just an example what you might do for help text. I'm going to put last name, comma, first name to tell the person taking the form that I want their last name first. So it's easier to sort later on. The next row down is the question type. So in forms you have the opportunity to ask all sorts of different types of questions. You can see that the default is multiple choice, but if I click on this down arrow here, I open up all of these other options for different types of questions. So text is maybe like a one-word to a one-sentence answer. So that would be appropriate for my name question that I'm asking. The paragraph text is if you want your answer to take up quite a bit of space of typing of text. So this would be like your typical short answer for this particular one. Multiple choice is pretty self-explanatory. Check boxes would be if you want to check a whole bunch of different choices, so you want the people to be able to choose a variety of them. And then these other ones I really haven't used a whole lot, but you could certainly play with them and see what they're all about. So for this one, since I want their name, I'm just going to choose text. So now I've chosen the question type as text, and it shows a little box where they would put their answer. As you go down to the bottom here, you can see there's this checkbox that says required question. If you want this part of your form to be required for whoever is filling out your form, you should check that because it won't let them submit the form without first filling out that particular question. And I for sure want the person to put their name on my form. So I'm going to make that required. And then when I've got all that done, the question is done. So I'm going to hit the done button for that question. Now it kind of shows you what the question's going to look like. This little red asterisk next to the name means it's a required question. Here's my little help text down below the name, and this is the size of the box that they have to fill out their name. Now let's say I made a mistake and I want to go back and fix something in that question. Over here on the right are some other options. So if I click on that pencil kind of icon there, it is allowing me to edit my question once again. So I'm going to show you that. This takes us back to where we were before when I was filling out the question. So you could always go back and edit by hitting that pencil. I'm done though, so I'm going to hit done again. This doubled up paper icon is for making a copy of the question. So maybe you're doing a series of questions that are very similar to each other and it's easier just to keep copying them and then changing them a little bit as you do that. And the trash can, of course, is to delete a question if you've decided you don't want to keep a question. So I've got one question on my form so far. I want to do some more questions. So what I'm going to do is go over here to where it says add item. That means I'm going to add another question. And hit the drop down arrow. And I just want to show you what all these different options are. So you can definitely choose right here, what type of question you want to have. Do you want it to be a text, paragraph again? Do you want it to be multiple choice? Do you want it to be checkboxes? Or you can just click on add item, and then you can change your question type right here as well. So there are two places where you could figure out what kind of question you want. This time I'm going to do a multiple choice question, just to show you how that works. So my multiple choice question is going to be, what color is the sky? I don't want any help text on this one. I think this is a pretty straightforward question. Again, I don't want this to be a text answer. This time it's going to be multiple choice. So I click the drop down arrow, I select multiple choice, and now I get some blanks where I can put in what the options are. So I'm going to give the options for the sky is green. That'd be option 1. I need another option, so I'm going to click in the box below. Option 2, the sky is red. I'm going to click another box. Option 3, the sky is green. And I'm going to click another box. Option 4, the sky is blue. You notice you can also add an other, so you could have somebody fill in their own option on a multiple choice question if you'd like. I'll just show you what that looks like. If you click on other, it gives them that choice right away, and then they can fill in their answer. But I've decided I don't want an other on this, so anytime you see these X's next to these questions, or to these possible answers, you can hit the X button and it goes away. So I don't want to have an other, so I just deleted it. I also don't want 2 greens. Okay, so I'm going to take out that one as well. So now I'm back down to 3 choices, green, red, and blue. You can see a shadow of a choice down here, but I haven't clicked on that, so it's not going to show up on my actual form. Again, I want this to be a required question, so I'm going to check that, and I'm going to hit done. Now we can see the question as the person who's taking the form would see it. What color is the sky? Here are their 3 choices. They can click on those, only one of those, as a multiple choice question. All right, I'm going to go over just one more question of how to do it, and then we'll move on to finishing the form. So again, to make another question, you hit add item. This time I'm going to do a check box question. So this is one where they could check multiple options. This question is going to be, what food have you eaten today? So maybe they've eaten more than one of these things. Again, I don't need any help text, so I'm just going to choose my question type. It's going to be checkboxes. I want to know, did they have their vegetables today? Did they have some fruit today? Did you have some meat today? And did you have any dairy today? Hey, do you notice every time I added another one, just like in the multiple choice, I clicked on the box below, and then that new option showed up, and then I could fill in that box. I'll just add in some bread. Again, you have an option for others, so if you wanted them to fill in one that wasn't a choice that you gave them. And then finally, I'm going to make this a required question and hit done.